Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to be working on the inverse trig functions. These functions are used to find missing angles in your right triangle. So on your calculators, to get to these functions, you're going to hit your second button first, and then your sine, cosine, or tangent button. And whichever one you hit, it'll bring up the inverse of that. So those inverses are what you're going to use on your calculator today to identify these angle measurements. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different approaches that you can take to this to solve. So what we're trying to do in this situation, as you can see, we're looking for the measurement of angle H. And I'm going to represent that with a variable of x. So knowing that I have all of the side lengths, I can use any of my three trig functions, the fractions that we've worked on, to help identify the measurement of this angle. So initially, I'm going to start with tangent because I'm going to use my opposite and my adjacent side. So I'm going to write it as tangent of whatever our angle measurement is that we're looking for. X is going to equal the length of our opposite side, which is 21, over 20, which is the length of our adjacent side. Now this isn't really going to help us, so we're going to have to use the inverse of tangent. So you're going to hit second and then the tangent button, and you will get the inverse of tangent. And now the inverse is pretty much just saying we are going to flip the fraction in for x, and the x is going to go where the fraction was. So now I'm going to take the inverse of tangent, which is the inverse of 21 over 20, and hit enter, and we should get an angle measurement of 46.39, and I'm just going to round to the nearest angle measurement. So for this one, I'd say the angle measurement of angle H is simply 46 degrees. Now, given the information that we have in number one, I'm going to show you a little bit of a different approach here for number two. So once again, we have all three of our side lengths, and we're going to be finding the measurement of angle K. So I'm going to represent that by the variable of x. Now, this time, since I have all three, I can use all three of my trigonometric functions to help solve for the measurement of this angle. So this time I'm going to use my hypotenuse and my adjacent side. So if I have my adjacent side and my hypotenuse, that information, I know that I can use cosine. So I'm looking for cosine of x is going to equal my adjacent over my hypotenuse, which is 4 over 5. But once again, that's not really going to help us at the moment, so we're going to have to use the inverse of cosine. So the inverse of cosine of 4/5 is going to equal, and then once we plug that into our calculator, you'll get roughly 36.89. And once again, I'm rounding to the nearest whole degree. So for this one, I'd say the measurement of angle K is simply 37 degrees. So that's all we're doing today for our inverse functions. I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, please write them down and I'll address them on Wednesday. Everybody have a great day.